Namaste, everybody. It's me, Foxy D. First of all, I want to give a shout out to my new subscribers, my original subscribers. And if you want to subscribe, please do. I hope you find these videos helpful. I want your comments. I invite them. So like, dislike, please comment. All right. I want to know how you feel about what I have to say and what your opinions are. And there you go. And it's important that we all kind of expand our thinking and our consciousness. So, all right, I'm going to start off with a quote. We're going to be talking about the spiritual self today. Now, remember, in past videos, I said I was unbalanced, very much into the whole intellectual part, not so much into the spiritual part. Thought a lot of it was hokey and it really didn't speak to me. Until finally, this last time that I was mobbed, it started to speak to me a little bit. Allow me. I'm going to start off with a quotation from Alan Watts. And the quotation goes as follows. Anybody who tells you that he has some way of leading you to spiritual enlightenment is like somebody who picks your pocket and sells you your own watch. Now, I firmly believe this quote, but I'm going to tell you, it's not that I'm downing anybody in the self-help industry. I love to read. It's good to read people's opinions and thoughts, and that's what I'm doing right now, is just providing you some information and some thoughts. I mean, they're based on my experiences, so it doesn't mean that I know it all, and it doesn't mean that the authors that you read know it all either, right? I like to look at primary sources for a lot of things. Hence, the whole idea of me talking about spirituality is a little bit kind of strange for people who've known me throughout my 48 years on this planet. So here we go. All right. So the first thing is that while I was dealing with all of these terrible emotions and this big, constant, chronic fight or flight response, my spouse, who knows a little bit about the practice of Kung Fu, suggested I do the first form of Kung Fu. So I said, what the heck is that? It's something called Wing Chun Kung Fu, and it's the first form. I won't demonstrate it in this video unless you ask me to. Then it'll be my pleasure. I will post links to what it is. Okay. So here I am, a doubting Thomas, if you will, and he said it's going to help center you. You don't have to believe in it. Just do this. So he said, you won't be able to go for probably more than a minute when you begin, and it's not because it's physically exhausting. But what it does, it's like mindfulness. It quiets down all of those voices and all of that stuff. Not like, and when I say voices in your head, I'm not talking about, something that is really a mental health issue. I'm talking about, just reliving stuff from your day, okay, and indulging in it, which I think is a very bad idea, as you already know. So I started doing these exercises, not believing in what I was doing, but just doing them. And funny enough, it really helped calm and center me. And I said, wow, there's something to this. So I started exploring and investigating. And then also with the help of my spouse, he said, have you ever checked out Hatha Yoga? Now, we never really talked about this stuff, but he had explored a lot of these different modalities towards well-being in the past. And I checked out Hatha Yoga, and it also spoke to me. And the reason it spoke to me is it said, you don't have to believe. Just do. And you will reap the benefits. So I said, all right. But I had to read a little bit just to see what it was all about. The cool part of Hatha Yoga is that it says that we're all part of this oneness. Okay? Human nature is what it is. We all fall on different scales in terms of sensitivity. Like I said, I'm an HSP, and even though I'm not big on the labels, at the same time, I just happen to feel energy. If you look at my palms, which are very red, literally, I can feel energy, okay? And people can feel my energy. Now, everybody can do this, even whether we're really sensitive to it or not, whether we're aware of it or not. We all do it. Now, you don't believe? You don't really have to believe. What I suggest, however, is that I'm going to post some links to this stuff. Just try the exercises, even if only for a minute. Hatha Yoga talks about energy and directing your energy. I'll give you an example. You've had a bad day. You come home. You're tired. You're cranky. Like I said, you have adrenaline and cortisol coursing through your veins. You're going through this terrible stuff at work, right? Well, what happens? We sit, we slouch, we feel down, and literally our posture is down. Our energy is pulled downwards, okay? Just even if you try it for a moment, you sit up straight. Extend your palms forward. It's like you start to feel better. I feel stronger just by sitting up. Well, Hatha Yoga works with those principles. It helps direct the energy upwards, towards your heart, towards your brain, and it lifts you. So it's kind of like when I talked about body language, right? And now remember, we're not just physical, mental, emotional, we're spiritual as well. All of this stuff works together. So it's really hard to compartmentalize it all. So I'm trying to do that just to make it kind of more succinct, I suppose, because they all work together. So in terms of this, in terms of, say, your attitude affecting your posture, your emotions affecting your posture, your spirit affects your posture, and vice versa. All right? That's the beauty of it all. No belief in it? No worries. Give it a shot. All right? And you will reap the benefits. The core component to these kind of breathing exercises, because that's what they really are, they're breathing and posture exercises, is that idea of mindfulness. And like I said, when I said the voices in your head gets quiet down, I'm not talking about, if you're a schizophrenic or something, that's a totally different story. I mean, that's a pathology. That's a different story. Okay. And I'm not saying it wouldn't help somebody who is a schizophrenic, but I'm just talking about a regular person who is going through a really hard time. All right. Mindfulness, it's kind of like that wise mind breathing that I was talking about. It sounds so easy, like wise, hold it for 4 or 5 seconds, then exhale, mind. These kind of visualizations and breathing exercises, okay, it takes a while to get to a point where you can quiet all of that background noise down and really reach inwards and find that core of your energy. All of this, to me, okay, is part of learning how to trust your instinct. Now, was that a bit short and sweet for the whole spiritual thing? Probably. Okay, we can get into more detail. I just want to present it to you. I will present the links. If you get turned on by it, great. Okay, and if you'd like me to demonstrate, just ask. I will. Okay, but for now, I'm going to provide you these links so you can do the exercises on your own. Give it a shot. See how you feel. All right? Now, the next videos that I'm going to talk about are about that whole oneness and that idea that we pathologize a lot of things, like that empathy versus, like the HSP empathy versus narcissists. Okay? I'm guilty of it myself. The truth is, I believe that we're all in these scales of behavior. All right? When it comes to characteristics, traits, personality. So I'm going to look beyond the whole pathologizing thing and just look at it as human nature and how we're on different, sometimes on polar opposite ends of the scale, sometimes closer, how we humans differ and how we are similar. And for me, this whole idea also helped me and is helping me learn how to trust my instinct a lot better without pathologizing. Because if we're to pathologize narcissism, well, to me, they're more the norm than the exception, these days especially. If you look from the very top, when we're talking about politics and geopolitics, to down to how we behave towards each other, there's a lot of narcissism in our society. I won't pathologize a whole group of people. I just think that, again, we're on different areas of that scale. So, for now, signing off. Foxy D, Namaste. Wish you a great day. Like, dislike, comment, please. I invite you to comment. And I wish you a lovely day. Namaste.